Thank you very much, Ginny. My absolute pleasure to be joined by Rekkles after that insane game. Let's get the generic interview question out of the way. How do you feel in this moment? Because I was surprised by this game. Were you surprised? Did it feel like a sure thing? Run me through the emotions of this game.
Going into the game, obviously, MKOI is a really strong team. So we knew that we were going to have to play a really good game to even have a chance today. And I think now in hindsight, we didn't really play that good of a game. But our composition at least allowed us to scale into the game, and it didn't stack the Drakes. So it felt like at some point we're going to be strong enough to just group and fight, which is kind of what happened. We were losing for a long time, and things didn't look too great. But due to the Drake stacking, we could go late game, and in late game, anything can happen. This new League of Legends 2026, it feels like it's hard to end the game, even if you're in a good spot. So it's just about like patience and finding your timings and using the phalites well, and eventually you will get your chances to win the game. And I think we took at least those chances really well. But definitely early game was tough, and I think with tomorrow's game against G2, it's really important we just clean up a few things, because this kind of game state, I feel like if they play a little bit better, we don't even get the chance to like scale into the game, because they're going to have 3 Drakes, and then the Drake stacking comes into play at like 25 minutes. So it's important we do a little bit better early game tomorrow, I think.
Yeah. How do you feel like you have improved in the early game? Because obviously you've had these 3 wins now, and a lot of them have been rough early games, at least in terms of the gold, and then finding these miraculous comeback moments. But do you feel like you've at least seen some of the improvement in early game that you were looking for?
Not really. I think today was tough as well. We died on jungle level 4. They did a good invade with bot prio, and then we tried to invade ourselves and we died. I think if they were doing the Drakes, it would have been a harder game. They were more focusing on like trying to dive and doing invades. So I would say our early game not getting much better, but at least we have like a clear idea of how we want to play later. I think this is kind of where you can see our roster having a lot of experience. It feels like we are good at problem solving in the game, later into the game, mid game, late game, on how to have a chance of even winning. I think, it's a good thing that we have so much experience in the team, because a lot of good ideas come and we can actually come up with something even in the most dire state. So I think it's just important we talk about the early game, because the better other teams get as well, the less chance we will have to actually get a good play in the game. So it's just really important we fix the early game, I think. Then everything else can follow. You know, anything can happen 30 minutes into the game. We have players like Nemesis on the roster. Like anything can happen at that point. So we just need to get to that point in a good state.
Yeah. And one guy, and I do want to give a little bit of credit to your early game. I know there was still a lot that you were focused on that was more negative, but I do want to give a credit to our key player of the game. It was Baus, 86% of the votes. Didn't die in lane. Did not die in lane. Incredible poppy ults. It felt like you guys are slowly but surely figuring out the formula to make sure that he's comfortable on stage, finding the picks that work. I'm curious, because you're getting dangerously close to playoffs. A dream that I think, a lot after coming into the year, for sure, optimism from Los Patrones fans. After the first few days, it felt like it was really far away. Now it's feeling closer and closer. You guys are facing a lot of other teams that are near the low end of the standings, so you have a lot of opportunities. How do you feel about that race for playoffs? What's your optimism like? What are your thoughts on the journey that lies ahead?
When I look at other teams, I don't think anyone is particularly clean right now. It feels like it's a bit of a mess for everyone. So with us having a mess as well, that at least means we are on even footing. I think it's just really important, like what I said about the early game, but also because of the short time span after the winter split, we will no longer be here. I think it's just really important we take like every moment with the utmost importance. So we don't like let a game slip or let a scrim day slip. We need to make use of every single moment we have, because in comparison to other teams, we only have 1 split. We don't have the entire year to figure things out. We have only now. So yeah, we just need to like really be in the present and take game by game and really give it our all every game. And with every team being a mess, I honestly feel like we can win against everyone and we can lose against everyone. So it's just important we come in with our best selves, and then honestly anything can happen. Yeah. Just focus on ourselves, most important.
Yeah, and I think what's really cool about this project for me is that we've talked a lot over the years, and across the many different versions of Rekkles, the many different teams and lineups, is I have never heard you so singularly focused. Like you're like early game, next game, all that matters, one step at a time. Does this project feel different to you? Does it feel different than anywhere else you've ever worked on? Like, what is making it that's so clear to you exactly what needs to be done? Or is it just because the early game is so messy that it's that clear, that it's that obvious?
I think it's more that it might be the last thing I do here. Lost Ratones, after this, as I said, no longer in the LEC, and I don't know where we stand after this as a group of people. What's going to happen, I have no idea. And I would be surprised if I end up in another team in the LEC, so I'm kind of just like giving it my absolute most every day because I think it might be the last thing I do. As sad as that is, it's the truth. I would love to play here, of course, in the future more, but a lot of things have to work out in my favor for that to happen, and maybe I had my good situations over the years. Maybe it's like, yeah, it's better I just go into this with the mentality that it's the last thing I do, and therefore I give like 100%, 110% every day, instead of hoping for something that might not come around after. So yeah, maybe last time you see me in the LEC, I think that's why I'm giving like my very, very best. Yeah.
I'm only grinning a little bit because maybe that means we could poach you for somewhere else, like the broadcast.
Maybe,
or something, you know.
Who knows?
But like, obviously, it would be a shame to see you go. But I'm glad that you're seeing the fruits of the labor on this run, where you are so focused. You are finally seeing the wins, the hard work paying off, even if again there might be a lot of hiccups in the earlier stages that the late game is coming together. I want to take a quick look at the standings before we close out today. You guys slowly but steadily rising. A lot of competition around you. MKOI kind of expected favorites today. You mentioned it yourself. The league is messy right now. It feels like anyone could be anyone. Do you think there is a clear top team in your eyes? Is there a clear #1 in the league right now?
I guess before today it was KC, and then KC had a pretty bad game today against Vitality. I don't think their draft was the easiest to play out though, so it's hard to say if it was something else or just that. I think GX honestly looked pretty clean, and that was probably the toughest game we had as well. If I think about all of our games, GX game was probably the one that was the least winnable for us. I think every other game we probably could have won, but that game felt very unwinnable, and perhaps that means they're the best team right now. But that can change, you know. Tomorrow maybe another best team, and next week it's completely different again. So yeah, as I mentioned before, just focus on ourselves, do everything we can every day. Maybe it works out.
Sure. Well, regardless of what happens in the future, I'm glad that I at least, and the fans here at least, get to see you again tomorrow, Los Ratones. We'll see how the match unfolds. That, of course, is going to do it for us here on our side. If you want more League of Legends tonight, the LCS is now live with C9 versus Lion. We're going to be back tomorrow, same time, same place. We will see you then. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching, whether it's here in Berlin or at home. We love it. See you tomorrow.